So today I'm going to make blackberry jelly out of fresh blackberries that we found right here on the farm. Last year we found some and I made blackberry jelly and it was really, really good. But I didn't document it, so this year I wanted to document it. We've already got ripe blackberries over there, so we've picked some. I'm making the juice right now. I didn't document the first part of it because it's so easy. All I'm doing is taking 4 cups of water, 4 cups of fresh but cleaned berries, and you stir them on a light boil. You mash them up gently, stir them for about 20 minutes at a light boil. And then you're just straining them. And that's where I'm at right now, is I'm straining the blackberries into a wire mesh here. It's about full and I've still got some more to strain out. So I'm actually going to go ahead and empty that out into a cheesecloth. I've got a bowl with a cheesecloth in it. Because once all of this is out and we're down to the pulp, I guess is what we'll call it, we're gonna squeeze that out just to get the rest of it. So I'm at the point where I need more space in my wire mesh. So I'm going to just pull it over here and drop it into the cheesecloth. So I'm back here and I'm just going to continue scooping this blackberry juice into this wire mesh. Okay, I'm at the point where I can use a rubber scraper to get the rest of it out of the pot. And even if you've got little pieces of berry, try to scrape those down into this juice to try to get the rest of it out, because we're gonna squeeze the rest of it out of that cheesecloth, and you want every little last bit that you can get out of your batch. And actually what I'm kind of cheating and doing this in 2 different installments. It's gonna be the same video, but today I'm making my juice. Tomorrow, because I have to get more sugar, tomorrow I'm gonna be making the jelly. So when we pick up here in a minute, it'll be tomorrow. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and scrape the rest of this into the cheesecloth. If you have meal prep gloves, rubber gloves that are safe for food handling, I would highly recommend you get them. I don't have them, so my hands are about to turn a fun shade of whatever. So we've got it all in there, and you can see it almost starting to bleed through. So we are just gonna take this and we are going to squeeze it like our life depends on it. And it's hot, it's still very hot. If you're not worried about a few little clumps, I didn't get this a great size, so a few little clumps are probably gonna go in there. It's not a big deal. It's not gonna ruin the jelly. It's not gonna mess it up or anything. Ooh, there's a lot. I don't want a ton, so I'm gonna try to rework this so it covers up that little bit there. You can see I'm still hot. Getting a good bit out of that. I'm still getting a good bit out of this, so I'm not gonna stop just yet. All right, I'm actually gonna pour this into my larger measuring cup, because I wanna see exactly how much I've got here. We are just shy of 3 cups of juice. You need 3 3/4 cups of juice in order to make the recipe. And you can add up to a 1/2 cup of water to the juice to bring it to where you need to be. So we're not quite there. So I will probably have to go pick a few more berries in order to get the amount of juice that we really need. So until we have the amount of juice we need, I'm going to put this in a jar with a lid, stick it in the fridge till it's time. All right. All right, so it literally filled my entire little bottle here, so I'm gonna stick this in the fridge till I've got enough juice, and then we'll pick back up when we've got it. Hello. So I have gotten all of the blackberry juice from the fresh blackberries. My mom had actually picked some, so she sent hers over, and I was able to go ahead and use her blackberries without having to go over and pick some and get all of the thorns and everything. So we are going to, so we've got about 3 3/4 cups of blackberry juice. And then we also have 1.75 ounces of powdered pectin. It's the equivalent of 1 box of pectin, but I just bought some in bulk from online and weighed it. I measured it out. I scale weighed it. So that's the 1.75 ounces. So what you're gonna do first is go ahead and put your blackberry juice into a pot on your stove. I'm wearing an apron because this is very dark juice and it will stain. I'm gonna go ahead and bring this heat up to high because we do want to bring it to a full rolling boil, like the kind of boil that cannot be stirred down. And I'm gonna stir in this pectin as I pour. And we're just gonna bring this to a full rolling boil. I just added 1/2 teaspoon of butter. That's optional, you do not have to, but it does help reduce some of that foam. I don't always add it, but I did this time, so I wanted to hop on real fast again and make sure you knew. I did add 1/2 teaspoon of butter, real butter. All right, mine is at a full rolling boil and I'm not able to stir it down. You want to make sure it's at a boil that you cannot stir down. Otherwise that pectin is not going to set and it's not going to gel how you want it to. It's going to end up being either runny or the gel is going to just seem real flimsy and not gel-like at all. So once you're there, you are going to take 4.5 cups of granulated sugar. And you're going to pour it in this mixture, just whisking as you pour. Adding the sugar is going to stop that boil. So you are going to continue stirring just like before until it's at a full rolling boil that cannot be stirred down. Okay, I've angled the camera down because we're getting ready to move on to the next step and I want you to be able to see it. But this is just getting to a full rolling boil and I cannot stir it down. So we are going to set our timer for 1 minute. Because once it's at that full rolling boil, again, you want it to be rolling boil that you cannot stir down for 1 full minute. Ooh, I'm gonna pull that off because it's gonna overflow if I don't. Make sure you have a big enough pot so you don't have to do this. There you go. In order for the pectin and the sugar to work together with the juice, how they're supposed to in order to turn into that jelly texture. So once you've done that full rolling boil at 1 minute, you're gonna remove it from the heat. Again, use a pot that's big enough that you don't have to pray the entire time that it's not gonna overflow. All right, so it's here. If you have any foam, which we don't have a ton, I can't see if I can do this. We don't have a ton, you can see there. So I'm just going to ladle out any of the foam. And actually, there were a few little seeds from the blackberries that had fallen in here. They are floating, so I should be able to get some of those out too. It's not gonna bother me for them to be in the jelly. If it bothers you, you'll just wanna be more careful with your cheesecloth. Okay, give it more. So I've got my water bath coming up to a boil, and I am ready now to ladle it into my jars. These are sterilized jars, sterilized lids, sterilized rings. We're going to ladle them in here, leaving about 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch headspace. You really don't have to leave a lot. You're just gonna be very careful because this hot liquid will burn you. Ask me how I know. This is how I know. Okay, I was able to fill 3 half-pint jars, 2 pint jars, and about half of one of these little, I call them sample size jars. I don't know what size these are. So I'm just gonna take my paper towel and wipe around the ring, or around the rim. I didn't see anything on there, but you can still see something came off. So you always wanna do this. This will ensure that those lids will seal properly. So do not skip this step just because you think they look okay. And still, these glass jars, once you put that jelly in, are hot to touch. So handle these with extra caution, extra care. Just be very careful. Okay, and then we're just gonna place our lids carefully. And we're going to secure them very carefully with the rings. And you don't want to tighten them too tight, just tight enough so they aren't going to go anywhere. You don't want to allow for anything to leak through into the jar, meaning the water. And you do not want anything to leak out or to give any reason for the lid to not grab hold and seal properly. So we are going to put these in our water bath. They're going to water bath for about 5 to 10 minutes. These do not take a long time. Find somewhere to put that. This is already boiling. These are small, some of these are smaller jars or shorter jars. So I'm going to use my tongs to drop them in very carefully. Okay. The timer has gone off. I left mine in there for about 6 minutes, because again, it's 5 to 10. You, as tempting as it is, don't tip your jars to see if they've set just yet. If we've done everything correctly, just trust the process and know that they have set. Avoid with all your might from tipping the jars. It's really tempting to do though. And I actually learned that from someone who commented on one of my previous videos, not to tip the jars. So thanks to whoever that was. All right, so that is blackberry jelly. I hope you love it. We loved ours last year. Again, you can use store-bought ones. You do not have to buy or go picking and looking for wild blackberries. We happen to have them here at the farm, so we use what God has blessed us with, and we just make sure they don't go to waste, and this is one of the ways that we can do that. My kids love it. It's delicious. Again, this is not something that you're making so much to make healthy, make it a healthier option, because we've used 4.5 cups of sugar for 6 tiny jars here. So but there's something that gives you a lot of self-satisfaction of knowing that you've prepared it. You know where the things that you're putting in your body are coming from. There's also, especially in these times, you want to feel kind of like you can do some things on your own. It's a skill that you can be proud of, and something that you can know, if all else fails, I know how to make some jelly or whatever else it is that you're making. So enjoy. Leave a comment below if you try it and how it turns out, and I will see you next time.